Family Tribe, and welcome to today's episode of Conversations with Iyobusa. Your girl, Iyobusa, always truly yours. I know you've missed me because I missed you guys. So, on today's show, oh my goodness, we're going to be talking about, when they say we're busting, these days, we're busting some myths and all of that. We're going to be busting or challenging the myth on this show that has been perpetuated for way too long. Gone are the days when the field of information technology, aka IT, was predominantly dominated by men. Even just the other day when I graduated college and got my first job in audit, working for a big four firm, all of the people who worked in the IT department, all the way from the CIO to the Chief Information Officer, I think it was like the two token women there. Now, fast forward 20 years, and that landscape is shifting fast. Fast. I cannot be more excited. So, joining me on this conversation today are two lovely ladies. We actually go way back 20 years. We're just talking about it before the show started. Grateful for the gift of life. We've been friends for 20 years or more. So this is just amen to that. Kemi, Ayoade, and Magdalene Imonioro, as they tell their stories on how they ended up in a career in IT and how they're helping to challenge the myth and change the narrative of women in this arena. Welcome, Kemi and Magdalene, to the show. Really glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you, Yobusa. Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay. So before we begin, there's something I'm noticing with you two. You both are looking so crisp. So too much sauce. Oh my goodness, too much sauce. Look at how I can't get over how beautiful you both look. On my own show again. Hey, this is
Coming correct. Serving it hot.
Exactly.
serving it hot. Okay, but there's a price you're gonna pay for serving it this hot.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Oh yeah, Jews. For looking this hot on the show. I'm loving it. You guys, viewers, you know me. We said it correct. But I don't know how the guests have been sending more correct than the host. You understand? So they gotta pay dues. I want you guys to you either sing the chorus of your favorite Afrobeat tunes, or two, you take us way back and sing the chorus of your favorite R&B 90s, like a 90s R&B tunes. Oh yeah, pick one. Kemi, we'll start with you.
Afrobeats. Go lo lo lo.
Okay.
Go lo lo lo. Bugawa. Bugawa. Let me see. Go lo lo lo. Go lo lo lo. Bugawa. That's my number one song right now.
That's your number one, right? It is so trending, and it's such a lovely song. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Magdalene, over
I
to
think
you.
Kemi is beating me to it. She's
Okay.
really stolen the one that was going to go. So, honestly, this is not a popular one. I don't know if it's Afrobeat genre, but he's Nigerian.
Okay.
And it's so I go always pray for you. I go always pray for you. May the grace of God. It's a lovely song, so that's the only one I can think of. But if I want to go back to cool Afrobeat, I like people like King Sunny Ade or Bright Chile, like Okri. So those are the ones I would listen to. But Kemi has beaten me to it. So,
Okay. Oh my goodness. KSA, no, he's just, he's a king, right?
Yes.
Like, he's not Afrobeat. What's it? His one is more, is it
Like
Afro
Juju.
Afro Juju, right? Yeah, and all that. Oh, well, Magdalene, you just took us back. Oh my goodness. Okay. Again, I'm really appreciating how lovely you ladies look. So let's delve into it. Okay. Women in IT. That is what we're talking about today. So, Magdalene, we'll start with you.
okay.
You started off. How did you end up with a career in IT? Because if I recall, you're very intentional about it. And what I mean by this, you actually went to college to study and get a bachelor's in computer engineering. So you always kind of knew that, yes, the field of IT was what you wanted to do. And this was even all the way back then when it wasn't even, it was an up and coming field, not even for women, right? So you as a woman even doing that then. So walk us through that thought process. You got your bachelor's in, like I said, in computer engineering from the University of Southampton in the UK. Just walk us through how you just knew that, yes, this is the field I wanted to go into.
To be honest, I would say computer engineering found me. I didn't go out looking to computer engineering. Now, it's a long story, probably not for this show, how I started on it, but just to kind of give you a brief summary. Now, I know I'm very, in terms of maths, I'm very mathematical. I like logic, I like reasoning. So, and then, like you said, computer was just an up and coming thing for where we were coming from. So there was that about wanting to see what can I do in this field. And a friend of mine, her name is Evia, and Evia, if you're listening, thanks. She was in the States and she was doing biomedical engineering. And she said, oh, have you ever thought of computer engineering? I was like, oh, really? What was that all about? So I did some research, found out there's a lot of programming, electronics, just right up my street with maths, with the logic, with the reasoning. And that's how I decided to study computer engineering. So like I say, computer engineering found me. I didn't go out to engineering. Yes.
Oh, wow. So if you didn't find you, what were you going to study then?
Okay, so originally I started out wanting to be a medical doctor. But like I said, you haven't got enough hours in the show to tell the story.
Wow. No, you're right. So we're going to bring you back at a later time to tell the story because I got to hear this. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So you know what? And sometimes, and that's how life is sometimes, right? You know, you set out thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then something else finds you, right? You know, like events come to your aid and you're pushed to a different path. Sometimes we embrace it, you know, we accept it. Hey, life is all good, right? Okay. Thanks for sharing your story. Now, Kemi, your story is a little different, right? You were not always in the IT field. Back then in college, you actually got a bachelor's in marketing from Texas Southern University here in Houston. And then you worked for some companies in various industries. At some point, you're actually an entrepreneur, right? With your startup business. Then you enter the IT world, you know, as a QA analyst, and now you're a senior IT Scrum Master. So tell us your story and tell us what is this Scrum Master thing, because for lay people like me.
Okay, so let me go back a little bit, like Maggie did. You know, in my case, I actually went hunting. I went looking for what this IT was about, because right when we graduated, we graduated around the same time.
Right.
A lot of the guys in our circle in Houston, you know, when you speak to them, they, hey, what are you guys into? They were all like, oh, we're into IT. Or you hear them saying, we work from home, or we're traveling for an IT job, you know. And so I was curious. My case was a case of I wanted to chill with the big boys. I wanted to see what you know they were doing, you know, because it was all the men, all the women I knew back then, including yourself, were all into like accounting. You know, we were taking the safer route. Not saying that, you know, accounting is a safer route, but that was what majority of us were focusing on. And I was like, I need to tap into whatever it is that these boys are doing. You know, for one, they were all making good money. And initially, yes, I was after, you know, the money, the hype in it. But after a while, you know, it hit me that this is a career path. And this is me breaking into a barrier that, you know, has been strictly for men. You know, and so as grace would have it, you know, I met a guy in the church I was attending in Houston at the time, Mr. Festus, if you're listening, thank you so much. Shout out to you. He came in, I think he traveled in from Germany or something at the time, and he was brand new to Houston, and he was offering to tutor whoever was interested at the time, quality assurance analyst. And all I needed to know was it was part of IT. That was it.
You're in. Right.
Got my money together. That was the first time I actually truly felt like I was investing in myself. Forget all the years that I spent in college, you know, paying tuition and all that, getting financial aid. Forget all that. This was the type that I was coming out of my pocket, like my actual earning that I was making at the time, investing in myself. And he taught that course, and he taught it for like 8 weeks, I think, and within 4 months, I landed my first QA job. And I mean, it's been a lovely ride ever since then. But then I dabbled into IT Scrum Master. And this is only because I want to be in the IT world, right? But I don't want to do coding, because that just, you know, unlike my friend here, she started off like, oh, I like math, you know. And I'm like, you know,
because when I hear, even me as a like what, like you guys are techies, I am the opposite. Like if techies are here, I'm like here. As in, if anything happens to even with my phone now, I'll be like, hey, okay, who is here to come and help me?
Right,
So,
right.
but so I hear like coding, programming, and I give much respect to like you
Yeah.
guys.
So that's another myth, right? That when you hear IT, you just automatically think coding languages, different languages. But it's so vast. There are so many IT jobs out there that does not require coding, and that's the one with Scrum. Being a Scrum master, it doesn't require me to learn any language. However, you still need to stay abreast of technology. You still, want to, because you're dealing with developers. You're dealing with these people went to school for 4 years or more to get, a bachelor's or master's or whatever in engineering. So you got to respect that, and you have to, if you're coming to them, you have to come correct. So you need to kind of keep yourself abreast as well and learn, but you don't have to learn the whole coding languages. You don't have to actually be coding. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Okay. So Magdalene, now you work as for one of the London authorities as doing IT testing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And you can be as big as you want to be, or you can be as specific as you want to be. Okay, we're not trying to get into the nitty gritty of the role, but just on a very high level.
So when I started as an IT analyst for one of the investment banks in London. And like you said, at that time, it was predominantly a male-dominated business area, and it was about supporting investment banking applications. But like Kemi said, I wanted to do a bit more than that. I just didn't want it to be about looking at codes, finding errors. I needed to develop myself a bit more. So I actually, funny enough, went into quality assurance analyst.
Oh, wow.
I went, analyst. Well, it's funny, unlike you, I had a friend who was doing it, and she said, "Oh, you'll be fine. You should do it." And I picked up the book and I read an interview the following week and got the job.
Well, you already had an IT background, so that helps, right? Yeah.
Well, funny enough, I got the job based on personality, not based on technical knowledge. It was personality. So I progressed from a QA analyst to a software QA analyst, test lead, and then I got bored with that. There's something different. So I thought, okay, I like engaging with people a lot. I like to figure out how things now, how we can do it better, how we can efficiency. And I thought better area to go into than the word of analysis. So currently I'm working as a senior analyst. It's a role, the senior business analyst with a bit of a dabbling into quality assurance for one of the London local authorities. So basically I do go into the business, look at different service areas, look at the process, what is it they're doing now, the end-to-end flow, where are the inefficiencies, where they can make cost savings, where they can cut out wastage. So that's basically what I do. Then I re-engineer, discuss it with the business, recommendations, discuss the possible solutions, more or less bridging the gap between the business and IT, bridging the gap between the business, what the possible solutions are out there. So that's a summary of what I do at the moment.
Okay. Oh, wow. Thanks for that. For really breaking it down. I'm sure my viewers, I definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure my viewers will appreciate it. So now, Kemi, let's segue back to you. What exactly does a Scrum Master? I know you mentioned it just very briefly, but let's get into it. What exactly does a Scrum Master do?
In a nutshell, kind of think of yourself like almost like a secretary. That's the way I see it. But on a higher level, right? You're helping the IT developers. You're helping them to facilitate their meetings. You're helping them you're basically ensuring that whatever it is that they have committed themselves to in terms of maybe a sprint goal, that they're able to achieve it. So you're pushing them along. There's a video that I saw on YouTube one time where it showed how there were these men lifting and carrying things, trying to get to the construction site. But then there was this guy behind who was just like barely touching them. But every time he'll just go there, make sure that this person carries it, that person carries it, so that's basically my job in a nutshell. I'm not actually touching anything, but at the same time, I'm ensuring that the people that are touching are actually doing that. So I'm constantly behind you, checking on you, making sure that you're doing what it is that you're supposed to do, just so that we meet our goals that we've set for ourselves.
So you're basically what I hear, right? I'm just putting my brain on now is you hold people accountable. You make sure they're accountable for
Yes.
deliverables.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. No, that's thanks, because I've always had a scrum master and I'm like, what is this? What is this scrum master? You know? I think I understand it better now.
Good.
Thanks for that. Ladies, amazing stories. And it just gives you, like I said, the world, the field of IT is so vast. And even just with you two here, right? I can already see the differences in the scope of your roles and the scope of your responsibilities, even still within the IT field. Now, I know there may be some people out there, maybe some viewers who are listening and they're kind of like, hey, you know what? So maybe like you, Kemi, hey, yes, I've always been interested in the field of IT. Or like you, Magdalene, you know, being intentional about it, even though you were steered to it, but still, right? Studying, going, actually getting a bachelor's in an IT, you know, field or discipline and all that. For anyone who's sitting out there contemplating either doing a switch, having a switch of careers, or maybe just graduating high school and thinking, okay, what do I do? What's the one advice you have for such a person? Magdalene, we'll start with you.
Yeah, can I say one thing? I'm a big advocate. Now, I know that from the background we come from, we push ourselves and it's always got to be a doctor, an engineer, accountant, you know, and we're always looking for prestigious jobs. So you hear people jumping ship. Whatever you're going to do, if you decide IT field, you make sure you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it just for the money, for the prestige. Make sure this is the purpose that you want to fulfill with your life. That's what I would say first. The second thing, everything in life is difficult. Everything is challenging. Anything worth having requires effort. It requires discipline. So if you've decided this is the path you want to follow, you have to realize that you've got to do some research, you know, engage with people who are already in the industry, talk to them, be confident. As long as you're willing to learn, and as long as you remain disciplined, as long as you're going to be amiable, you know, you get along with people, you can do it. That's what I say to people. The key skills that people need to survive in the industry are the soft skills, like, you know, people skills, team working, communication. They're not so much about the technical skill. There are some areas where skills are a must, but skills, you know, being a communicator, being a good listener, listening to people's problem, want you to actually solve it would help you. Do the research. We're living in a different generation. There's so much information out there. Udemy courses, you've got courses on YouTube. Equip yourself with the knowledge for you to be able to go out there and get the job you want. That's what.
Wow, thank you. Kemi.
I completely agree with what she just said. But I would also encourage people to just take a chance on yourself, right? You know, take that leap of faith in yourself that, you know, you can actually do it. Get the stereotype out of your head that, okay, this is a hard job, or, well, you know, it could be, depending on which area of IT you jump into, you dabble into. But definitely invest in yourself. I do hear a lot of people when you tell them, oh, this is what I do, and they go do their own research, and then you hear that they're trying to take shortcuts to get there. Don't take shortcuts to get to somewhere that's going to be paying you 6 figures and more, or
and that's actually your career, you know. I don't know about the shortcut thing, you know.
Right. And with this kind of job, when you dabble into IT, just know that you are going to be engaging with high profile people. You're going to be mingling with CEOs, directors. You know, you have to be vocal, you have to be engaging, you know, identify yourself as well. Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? You know, if you're the type that's laid back, then, you know, there are different jobs, right? In IT. If you want to remain behind the scenes, you know, if you don't want to be vocal, if you don't want to be mingling, if you don't have to give reports to directors and all that, you know, take time out to research. Don't just jump into this field because now I hear Scrum Master is the thing now, so everyone is dabbling into it, everyone is running into it. You know, one time it was manual testing, QA, you know, you know, take your time to actually do a lot of research. I say do your due diligence. You know, identify the area that resonates with you, and then invest in yourself in that area. If it is Scrum Master that you want to do, get yourself a certified coach out there, a mentor, somebody who can mentor you not just before you get the job, but also when you get on the job, you know.
So throughout the journey, right?
Yeah, it's a journey. And don't just give up and say, oh, I see somebody offering it for $300, so I'm gonna jump on that. Or I've even heard people say, oh, I see people offering to take the exams for you, because you have to get certified, you know. Do yourself the honor.
Okay.
I was gonna
Take the time to take the courses yourself, take the exams yourself, and pass. That would help you when you get on the job. That would help you, because a lot of people who rush in end up rushing out, so getting kicked out just because, you know, they didn't do their
half baked, basically.
Yeah, right. So that's what I would encourage people to do, and just stop running from one place to another just because this is the in thing now, this is the booming thing. Make sure that whatever it is that's out there now is actually something that fits the kind of person that you are. You know, it fits your personality, it fits your character, because a lot of these jobs, when I interview people, you know, when I interview people to come on to be like a junior Scrum Master, whatever, I'm not looking at you to come in to tell me textbook kind of answers or whatever. I'm trying to see how we can relate with each other. I'm trying to see your personality, because you're going to have to be dealing with some strong-headed IT developers who's been doing this for years, right? So you have to come in mentally ready for the challenge that's ahead. So I don't need you to come in to tell me textbook answers and all that, you know, because you've studied a lot and you're probably a straight A student. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Yeah. So make sure that this is something that you can live, breathe, sleep, wake up. It's in you, you know, before you dabble into it.
And I think what I hear from both of you is definitely invest in yourself and be in it for the long haul, right? No shortcuts, you know, don't be half baked or anything like that. But the way I see it is, don't, like you said, right? If you rush into it without being prepared, you're gonna rush out. Yep. So the industry will read the what's the word I'm looking for now? The industry will weed the non-serious people out. I think that's
they
how
would know. They would identify
exactly. You can't hide, right? You can't hide behind.
You cannot.
Sorry, can I just say something? It's funny you said that. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of charlatans in the industry. They just go out there, you know, the Scrum Master is the next big thing, or being a product manager.
Let me jump into it. Let me go and make the money. You know, it's like
it's a new one I heard from Kemi, that people actually pay people to get other people to do the exam. Now that is really, and I think well, here in the UK they're becoming more aware of that. So the interview just goes beyond giving me textbook answers. You know, is where you're actually given a computer until this is the scenario, model the process for us.
Yes.
And that weed out the charlatans from the genuine people who are there to work.
Yes. And also, when you get on the job, don't just relax and be content and happy that, hey, I'm here, I'm in, you know. You have to stay abreast of technology. It's continuously evolving. It's changing every single day. So don't just sit back and say, okay, now I'm in. No, you know, especially if it's, I keep going back to the Scrum Master role because that's the in thing now, you know. We have a Scrum guide that we have to follow as Scrum Masters, and that's constantly, you know, being updated. So you have to make sure that you're staying abreast of it as well, and you're not just content with where you are as a Scrum Master or whatever IT job that you're doing. You know, just keep growing, keep learning. Have that desire to learn. If you go out there and look at my LinkedIn, you will see that I didn't just stop at just being a Scrum Master. You know, I am a Scrum Master now, but I didn't just stop there. I'm continuously growing myself. I'm taking certifications left and right, you know. So my goal is to eventually become something else and not just sit here as a Scrum Master, not because, you know, I want to keep jumping around or whatever, but I have to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable in terms of my level of growth. Am I actually growing in this area or not? You know, so that's my way of holding myself accountable, is to continuously grow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're taking over. Just to add a little bit to what Kenny said, I agree completely what she said. If I go into a job and find that I'm getting really, then it's time for me to go.
You're like,
That's
time to go, time to move on now, you know? Yeah.
I can do the my eyes closed. It's time to go. I like that me going, but everyone's different, but it's not for me. I want the next challenge. The next, what's the new thing out there? How can I do stuff?
No, you're right. You're right. You're both right. I think, and if I liken it, so I work in the consulting industry, right, or field, and what I tell folks, or what I tell up and coming consultants is, for me, what determines how either complacent I am is the minute it stops being challenging, the minute it stops being. People don't like fire drills, but I like some level of fire drills because it means okay, they're keeping me on my toes and all of that. So the minute it starts being boring, no fire drills, you just come in, you know what you need to do from 9 to 5, and for the next year, that's how it is. Then it's time for me to get
time to go.
Like seriously,
yeah.
Okay, I really appreciate you, beautiful ladies. Now you're also mothers. We know it's real. We still got to run the household. Mothers to beautiful children, right? Wives to amazing husbands. I mean, the entire support system. Without them, we know it will be tough. It will just be tough, right? So quickly give a shout out to your family. Kemi, we'll start with you.
Sure, I would like to give a shout out to my wonderful and amazing husband. Actually, he's the one who kind of pushed me into this Scrum Master role. And to my wonderful children for putting up with the numbers of days that mommy has to study or mommy has to work and can't attend a function at school, or just putting up with sometimes my weekends, because that's the only time I do have to be able to get my get up there with my certifications and stuff. And so I just want to thank them for being my rock. Right now they're supposed to be having lunch, but I told them mommy has a very important meeting. Be quiet.
Right.
Doing just that right now. That's why you haven't bust in, knock on the door.
Right.
Thank them for being the wonderful kids and wonderful husband that they are. Thank you.
Thank you. Magdalene?
Yes, shout out to Peter O, my husband, my rock, my companion. He's just everything and more. I always say no one holds a candle to my dad, but I think he's nearly there. He's in the blanks, helping me, my support system. I'm working crazy hours on reports. He's looking after the kids, making sure I don't have to deal with that. I've been away, like and he held it really well. Shout out to my kids, my lovely girls. They are just awesome. Similar to Kemi, mom, homework. No, I can't talk. I'm in the no.
Okay.
The work from home thing is the new reality, and they're fabulous, just fabulous. Really, they shouldn't understand their kids, but they understand that this is the new normal, and it's God that holds it all together. Without him, I'll be a complete mess, not able to differentiate between them. Sometimes it's really crazy in the work industry, crazy work-life balance, but somehow God all works. So to him be all.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. And it's not for nothing they say, it takes a village to raise a child, right? As long as we have that support system, and the support system comes in varieties of ways, right? It could be, so for us, it's, the husbands and the kids, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's brothers, all those uncles, aunties, it's the neighbor out there who's genuinely looking out for your children, or, just all of that. It takes all of that to help to make us who we are today, So it's a huge shout out to all of such people who leave positive imprints in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's been an utmost pleasure having you ladies on my show, ladies in IT. So it's safe to say that landscape is really changing. We are seeing a lot more women who are interested in this. They know that, let's bust the myth. IT is not some mysterious kind of like, oh my goodness, what is that? No, as long as we have a brain, you're interested in it, go for it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right, viewers. There you have it. The delightful Kemi Ayoade and Magdalene Imonioro. They've come here to share their stories on how they dabbled into the world of IT and how they're loving it. But most importantly, what I hear come through from their discussions or from this discussion is be passionate about what you want to do, invest in yourself, spend the time, continually develop yourself. The minute you see the complacency setting in, it's probably time to get the step in and get the move on, right? To something more to something more challenging. So thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my show, don't let me say these ladies come and get you, right? Please, you people, tell them for me. Please tell them, because
if you've not subscribed, where have you been? Conversation. Are you crazy? Now this is where you get information, education, everything. There's a bit of humor, joke, everything to make you complete. So definitely you should be subscribing. Shouldn't just be watching this for free now. Should be billing you.
Abby, just imagine it.
but wait, so don't charge yet. So Yobusa, don't charge yet. Wait. Let me tell my own people to quickly go and subscribe before this lady turns to celebrity overnight now. And they will not even be able to speak to her again because happy and all that. So for now, that the access is free. All my people, if you're watching me right now, I'm pleading with you guys, please subscribe to her channel. It is really, really informative. You will get to learn a lot on her shows. So please subscribe. I wish I can give you guys something. Show me proof that you subscribe. And then
Exactly.
You see, taking it to different levels. No, seriously, this show, and this is why I began this show, is to showcase fantastic Nigerians, fantastic Africans, who are helping to change the narrative, right, about Nigeria, about Africa. Like, it's about time, and there's so many of us doing fantastic things. So, hey, as long as there's a fantastic African out there, I'm going to be bringing that person on my show, So, but ladies, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Viewers, it's been a pleasure being here with you today. So until the next time on my show, I say you stay safe and have a super sparkly one. Bye now.
Thank you.